Ever since I was a child, I've had this amazing curiosity, and I've always asked myself deep, deep questions. And I remember in fourth grade, I had a science teacher named Miss Newman, and she would encourage me to always ask questions. And she said, Michael, your intellect is the key to your success. Your brain is the greatest gift that you've ever been given. And so I really embraced that idea of my brain and my mind being the source of my success. And I've used it to exceed what society says a young black person with only a GED could accomplish in the world. And so one of the things that has really helped me in my life is embracing science and understanding how certain things work. And I know that as men of color, sometimes we may be a little hesitant to embrace science, specifically the science of the mind, which is psychology. And a lot of us reject psychology because we've been conditioned to believe that as men, we're supposed to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and we're not supposed to show weakness. And so we sometimes rely on religion to help us deal with stuff. But I think we need to be a little more courageous and open-minded and embrace science and the science of psychology to help us transform our lives from the inside out. And so when we talk about psychology, it is my belief that the three most difficult words for any man to say is, I need help. And so it is our unwillingness to say, I need help, that causes so much pain in our lives. And it's the reason that some of us, unfortunately, get trapped in addictions and violence and things like that because we're unwilling to say, I need help. Well, to get help, we have to embrace science. We have to embrace psychology, metaphysics, spirituality. We have to embrace all of these things to transform ourselves from the inside out. And so there's a place for religion, there's a place for spirituality, but science can teach us how to understand our behaviors, the foundations of who we are. And so for me, one of the greatest gifts I ever gave myself was the courage to go to therapy and to recognize how some childhood trauma I was carrying around even as an adult. And psychology helped me heal that those childhood traumas so that I could be happy and whole and healthy and emotionally connected to myself. And so as men of color, we need to embrace science. And we don't have to just limit just to science, but we have to understand how the mind works and the psychology behind the pathology that causes us to do what we do. So one of the things that I talk about in this book, my latest book, The Cure for Loneliness, is the importance of embracing science and how it can support and transform your life from the inside out. And so I want to extend an invitation to you to engage in this conversation and dialogue with me so that you can transform your life from the inside out by finding your cure for loneliness. And this conversation is about the cure. And so I'm creating a conversation around the cure for loneliness. And this conversation is, again, a result of my latest book, The Cure for Loneliness, A Black Man's Guide to Joy, Passion, and Purpose. And I'm launching hashtag Loneliness Cure because I want men of color to engage in this conversation to transform their lives from the inside out. And it begins with our willingness to embrace science and understanding so that we understand how our minds work, how our hearts work, and how we can transform ourselves from the inside out. So won't you join me in this conversation? Pick up your copy of The Cure for Loneliness to learn more and go deeper into this conversation about embracing science. And I know it will provide you with some insights that can support you in building an extraordinary life. So welcome to the movement. Follow the hashtag Loneliness Cure. Take care.